Over the last year, we've had a lot of folks in the bluegrass world that we've lost, and there's two that and they're all important to us. But if we've missed someone, but there's two that passed away. One like 2 days after being here last year, so we feel very fortunate that he was here with us last year, and he was a great big part of the bluegrass community in Arizona, and he used to run the Logandale Festival for years. And I'm going to bring a gentleman, a good friend of his, and a bandmate up here in just a second. But I just want to say a couple of things about our friend that we lost last year, Al Bess. How many people knew Al? Al was a great big part of the, like I said, the Arizona and Southern Nevada Bluegrass Association. And I can remember every time I was the new kid in the block when I got down here in Arizona, and when he first saw me, met me, he looks at me and he says, "So you're having a bluegrass festival, huh?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, good luck." He says, he looked at me square in the eye, and I was green, I was a little new, and he says, "Anything I can do, I'm sure I'm going to be here to help you." And then the next time I saw him, says, plops down his hand on the table and says, "How much am I going to owe you for this festival each week?" And he says, "I'm going to pay you." He just wrote a check each time. So it got to the point where I said, "Al, why don't you put a couple more zeros on that thing, and we'll all be happy." But a great guy, did so many things. When we did the Kingman Festival, he said he'll bring a bunch of friends that help us get it started. He did. He was a great big part of this festival, a great big part to a lot of people. And I want to have a friend of his, like I said, and his bandmate, come up and say a couple of words about Al and give him a tribute. And that's Mr. Ron Williams.
Well, thank you, Larry. When Larry asked me to do this, I'm really not very good at this kind of thing, so I just prepared a little something to say about Al. And as most of you know by now, Al passed away last March, I think in a week. It was at the All Association Jam down by Quartzsite, and although we weren't ready for the Lord to call him home, Al left us doing what he loved best, and that was listening and playing bluegrass music. Al's passing has left a void in a lot of people's hearts, especially mine, because we used to hunt and fish and camp out and play music, but there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him. Al taught me a lot about bluegrass music, and I'm forever grateful for all the things he did for me. So even though there's an empty chair at our campsite this year, we know he's there in the minds and hearts of those who loved him. Al left us sooner than we expected, but I guess the good Lord needed another angel up there to play bass in the angel band. God bless Al Bess.
Thank you, Ron. And I know that was tough for him. He was a good friend, and those guys played a lot of music together. And so anyway, he's going to be missed and is missed. Well, it doesn't stop there, unfortunately. Over the years, and after every festival that we've done, both in Plymouth and here, Parker and here, we have a volunteer dinner on Sunday night for all of our volunteers. And it started out on a Thursday night. This gentleman would come to me and he'd say, "Hey, Larry, big old guy about like that, big full beard. You may see his picture in the program." And he said, "Hey, I can make some jambalaya. I want to make some jambalaya for you, and do your jambalaya for your volunteer dinner." And boy, did he make some jambalaya. And so I'd get him over here. He'd drive all the way. He lived in San Bernardino, drive all the way over to Parker and then here and all the way up to Plymouth, California, and provided our volunteer dinner, jambalaya. It was every Thursday night, and we did it for a long time until he got sick. But I got to tell you a quick story. I'm going to have you can see some musicians back there going to come up and sing a little tribute. But now, I hope I don't offend anyone, but the name of the song that they're going to sing, Gary and the band, is number 2 on Shithouse Row. Now, let me tell you the quick story about that. Gary and all the band and everything, George, they were at an event and said, "Hey, we're going to go up to, moving from Parker up here." And he says, "Well, how do I find you when I come see you, George?" He says, "Well, all the porta potties are lined up, and I'm going to be the second one off of Shithouse Row, so therefore Shithouse Row." And Sandra and I have put together over by the restrooms over here, we have a little tribute to him. He played the harmonica and was a darn good harmonica player. He had a harmonica there. We have a harmonica, and we have a little tribute to him that we put over there. But in the meantime, I want to bring up the band, and he's going to sing. Gary, the jam master, as he's known, Trouble, as he's known otherwise too, he put together a song a couple years ago that stuck with George, and it's a tribute to George. They want to come up and sing it. So I'm going to invite Jam Master and his group up here to sing that song for you in a tribute to George Finkle.
Testing, testing.
Oh, where are we going? Closer to Jennifer.
Testing, testing. I wrote this song for my good friend George. Goes a little like this. I was headed for the festival out at Havasu. When we pulled into the campground, I could see that it was true. There were pickers in the campground. I could hear that old dobro. Then they pointed to our campsite down on Shithouse Road. Said you're always close to the music. When they park you by the stage, you can hear that bluegrass music. They're playing every day. So if you've got the time and you don't have to go, stop by George and Alice's. They're number 2 on Shithouse Road. There's always bluegrass players sipping on some Jack, and Alice has a table spread with all kinds of snacks. So if you're headed for the steak, stop by and say hello to George and Alice down on Shithouse Road. Said you're always close to the music. When they park you by the stage, you can hear that bluegrass music. They're playing every day. So if you've got the time and you don't have to go, stop by George and Alice. They're number 2 on Shithouse Road. Campers come and campers go, though the story's told. But if you're in the neighborhood, you really ought to know that George would always welcome you and offer you some Jack and friendly conversation that will always bring you back. Said you're always close to the music. When they park you by the stage, you can hear that bluegrass music. They're playing every day. So if you've got the time and you don't have to go, Stop by George and Alice's, they're number 2 on Shithouse Road. Stop by George and Alice's, they're number 2 on Shithouse Road.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. And I know George appreciated it. He's looking down on us right now, saying, Larry, I'll bring you some jambalaya. And anyway, that's a great tribute to a couple of good friends that we have and we're going to miss them a lot. But it's time to have some fun. What do you think?